Hi everybody, I'm Autumn with the Bitterroot Wedding Association, and today we're going to run through a little question and answer about the Montana Made Wedding Fair so that we can answer any of your questions that you might have about being a vendor at our show. We are hosting this year's wedding fair at the First Interstate Building at the Ravalli County Fairgrounds in Hamilton, Montana. This year's show date is going to be November 5th, 2016.
How much will it cost for me to become a vendor at the Montana Made Wedding Fair?
So booth fees are $500 to become a vendor at the Montana Made Wedding Fair if you are not a member of the Bitterroot Wedding Association. If you are able to and would like to become a member of the Bitterroot Wedding Association, the dues for the year are $150, and then your booth fee is only $150 as well. We're really trying to make this a cost-effective show so that you can spend a little bit more impressing those brides that come through.
What will the timeline for the weekend look like on Friday and Saturday of the show weekend?
So on Friday for load-in, the bridal house will be loading in first, and they will have the ability to gain access from noon to 7 o'clock p.m. to drop off consignment items. Then on Friday from 4 p.m. until 9 p.m., all the vendors who are participating in the show will have an opportunity to load in the night before the show. And then on the morning of the show, for those of us that either couldn't get there the night before or have a smaller setup, you have from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. to do load-in before the show opens.
And when will tear down be after the show is completed?
So we ask that you wait until 5 p.m. Please do not tear down your booth until the show is actually over, but that will be at 5 p.m. and you have until 8 p.m. to be all cleaned up and out of the fairgrounds. So we've given 3 hours for teardown. And then anything for the bridal house, the consignment pickup items, that'll happen the following day from 8 to noon. But we do need all of our vendors out of the space by 8 p.m. on Saturday night.
Will I be able to have access to any leads from the bridal show, or do I need to collect them individually myself?
You will not have to collect leads individually at your booth. Obviously, if you strike up a conversation with somebody and they're really interested in your services, you're going to want to get their contact information. But we will collect leads from every person that enters the wedding fair that
What
day.
will the agenda timeline look like for the actual day of Bridal House consignment event as well as the Montana Made Wedding Fair?
So Bridal House will actually open early at 10 a.m. for an early bird sale. The tickets are $10 to get in for the early bird, and the early bird goes from 10 to 11. Then general admission opens for the rest of the wedding fair, and Bridal House will remain open throughout the day until 5 p.m. General admission tickets are only $5 at the door. So if brides and grooms want to come in just for the wedding fair, that starts at 11. But your booth will need to be ready at 10 a.m. in case girls come in early for the early bird and want to shop the wedding fair as well. At 4 o'clock, Bridal House will go on 50% off consignment. And then we'll do our grand prize giveaway at 4:45. So again, we want you to wait until 5 o'clock to tear down your booth.
What sort of parking will be available on the day of the bridal show?
So brides and grooms will be able to park in front of the First Interstate Building, but we ask vendors, just because there's a limited space and a large garage door at the back of the First Interstate Building, that we don't block that garage door for extended periods of time so that all the vendors have a chance to load and unload their booths. We will have helpers so that when you unload your booth at that garage door, they can move the items to your booth to help you with setup and get you in and out relatively quickly. So we ask that you spend less than 15 minutes at the garage door unloading your booth. Then you can move your car to the parking lot behind the building or use on-street parking.
Is there any sort of lodging available for me as a vendor?
Actually, I have made calls to the Bitterroot River Inn and the Townhouse Inn, and they are willing to do discounted rooms if you say that you're a member of the Bitterroot Wedding Association. So just give them a call and you should be able to get a discount for a room rate.
What is included with my booth?
So we are lucky to have Hamilton Party Rentals providing a silver pipe and drape throughout the whole First Interstate Building. So we've got really nice pipe and drape booths. The size is 8 by 10, so that is 10 feet across the back and 8 feet deep into your booth space. There will be a 6-foot table included with your booth with a silver or gray linen. We are not including chairs, so that is something to keep in mind. We do prefer our vendors up and working the show as opposed to sitting back behind a table. So you will get a 6-foot banquet table, and then we have paper signs that'll just say the name of your business. So we definitely suggest that you get your own sign printed and your own branding. We do ask that you are contained within that 8 by 10 space and don't expand beyond it.
Will I have Wi-Fi access at my booth space?
Yes, the First Interstate building is Wi-Fi accessible and there is no password to get onto the Wi-Fi.
Do you have any additional suggestions on things I might be able to do with my booth space?
Yeah, so if you haven't been to the First Interstate building before, it is a large concrete floor. So if you want to spice up your booth a little bit, you can always add a carpet, just basically a large area rug in your booth space. A backdrop would be excellent. If you don't want to use what's available for pipe and drape, you can build your own backdrop. And that's actually part of the reason why we've kept the show costs where we did keep them, so that you had a little bit more money to spend on making your booth stick out from the rest. And then if you're still looking for inspiration and decoration ideas, if you're on Pinterest, you can go to the Bitterroot Wedding Association Pinterest page, and we've pinned quite a few ideas for inspiration for booths.
Will I have access to power at my booth at the show?
There are a lot of power outlets run along the floor of the First Interstate building, so you should have easily enough access to power. We just ask that you provide your own extension cords to run that power.
How are you going to advertise the Montana Made Wedding Fair?
So for starters, we're only charging $150 for the booth space, so it's actually not a huge marketing budget. So what we've done is when you sign up for the show, you actually do agree to help participate in marketing the show. We have created, which we'll give you a tutorial on as well, but we have created Facebook posts for you to share in the weeks leading up to the show. We're going to do as much advertising as we possibly can through radio promotions and ticket giveaways. We're having a billboard printed, and we've also paid for social media advertising as well, but we do need your participation. So we have an event that's listed on Facebook. It's called the Montana Made Wedding Fair. So when you start typing that in, it should automatically populate. So you can tag us in any of those posts that you're putting about being excited about being a vendor at the wedding fair. We're also on Instagram, so you can find us under the Bitterroot Wedding Association on Instagram, and we'd love for you to follow us and like our posts there. And then if you're going to post anything about the Bitterroot Wedding Association or the Montana Made Wedding Fair, you can use the hashtags. We suggest hashtags like Montana Made Wedding, hashtag Bridal House, and then hashtag Bitterroot Wedding Association and Montana Made Wedding Fair. So we have the list of people that have signed up through the website of the Bitterroot Wedding Association website. We will be sending them emails, reminding them about the wedding fair and reminding them about Bridal House. But there's no harm in reaching out to people, again, about the wedding fair. The more times people hear about it, the more likely they are to attend. So we definitely suggest reaching out to your current brides, your brides for next year, your past brides, letting them know about Bridal House and the wedding fair as well. If people have been married in the past, they can definitely resell their items through the Bridal House, and it's just another way of getting the show name out there.
When I register to become a vendor with the Montana Made Wedding Fair, what are other ways that I can partner with this event to really put myself out there?
So we would love to participate and partner with our vendor members. So one of the ways that we can do this is through participating in some of our sponsorship activities. So first, we've got the Mimosa Lounge, which is actually mimosas and Bloody Marys and sangrias, things like that. When a bride or a groom buy a ticket online, even the $5 tickets, you get a drink ticket, and you can head back to our Mimosa Lounge and get a free beverage. Those drink tickets can be sponsored, so you can pay for a certain amount of drink tickets to allow us to do that. We also have spots for live musicians at the show, so if you have contacts with live musicians, we would love to reach out to them to be able to provide some live entertainment at the show. We have rest areas stationed throughout the event. So whether that's if you're a rental business and you've got couches and you want to provide a cute little rest area and put your name on it, that's an awesome opportunity. If you're a florist, you can partner with the rental companies and do floral arrangements at the rest areas, and all of those sponsored activities will be listed with your business name and logo. So if you're a business such as a caterer that has a large mobile catering truck, we would be happy to try to accommodate that into your booth space. We really just want this show to be different and impressive. So the large items like that, we will do our best to accommodate you. We also are offering, as part of that admission, first come, first serve, we're going to have a flower crown station. So brides and grooms, brides and their bridesmaids can put together flower crowns and practice before the big day. We're also going to have workshops. So if you have ideas for something that would be popular for someone that's getting married to learn about, then that's something we would love for you to suggest to us. We don't want super specific workshops, but something that's broad enough that would be of interest to a bunch of people. That's what we're going for.